Green Rise Peach Kombucha. Gluten-free. Of course, peach, because Georgia. Hello, and welcome to another video. My name is Heather, and as always, I'm reading with a vengeance, and I hope you are too. I am here to do something that I don't do very often anymore, but I missed the big one this year, I think. Did I do the midlife or the mid-year crisis tag this year? I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did. Or did I miss the quarter year? I don't remember. But I definitely don't do as many tags as I used to. And as a matter of fact, oh my gosh, I just remembered a Christmas tag that I created, which I should be doing. Maybe I still will. Anyways, I'm here to do the end of the year book tag because everybody's doing it and I was in the mood to jump on a bandwagon. So I've recorded some other videos today, so I just thought I'd just go big and record one more. For the end of the year, there's only 6 prompts. Yeah, let's do this. This tag was, I believe, created by Ariel Bissett, who I will link down below. So let's just get started with the prompts. The first prompt is, are there any books you've started this year that you still need to finish? And that is really easy for me to answer. It is a 100% resounding no, period. When I DNF a book, it's done. I mean, there is a couple of exceptions where there are books that maybe I DNF'd years and years ago that maybe I'd appreciate more in my maturity. But as far as books that I have started this year and DNF'd, they are laid to rest, period. There's no resurrection. So no. Just on that note, I have DNF'd more books this year than any other year, like exponentially. The older I get, the less time I have to spend on books that just I really am not enjoying or that I recognize are not for me. So I feel really good about that. Life is short, and that's so cliche, but it's true. So yeah, the older I get, the less patience I have for crap stories. Just no. And as far as resurrecting a book that I've already DNF'd, or I don't know, giving a book a rest, I don't give a book a rest. If I'm engaged, I read it. If I'm not, it's done. The next prompt is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I think that's a really weird question because the end of the year, at least for where I am, it's winter. I mean, when is the winter solstice? December 21st, right? So we're not far off. That's like a month away. We're at the end of autumn, so no. And I don't really read seasonally. I'm a mood reader with a few exceptions of like book club books, or, you know, I have to read certain arcs at a certain time so that I can review them for my job. Oh, you know what? I say I don't read seasonally, but I mean, I like for October spooky season, which isn't really a season. For spooky season, I do like to read more horror than normal. Although I can read horror any time of the year, I especially enjoy it during spooky season. I mean, who doesn't, right? My first response to this second prompt is also no, but let me look at my TBR and I can give you an idea, maybe. Okay, so since I don't really view the end of year as being autumn and it shouldn't be autumnal, I think it should be more like a winter read if it's the end of the year. I mean, maybe most people do this tag earlier in the year than I'm doing it. Certainly by the time I post this, it's probably going to be December. I will tell you the season that I am reading for right now is of more of a political nature. I feel like in light of events of this month, I feel like I need to better educate myself so that I can have intelligent debates with people and my argument isn't going to be emotion or feelings based. I want to have facts behind me. So anyways, that's all to say that I have some political science type books that I've added to my TBR that I've already started reading, and I will get into that like in my next update because, well, I'll just tell you, one of the books I'm reading right now is Democracy Awakening by Heather Cox Richardson, Notes on the State of America, and some other books that I have added to my TBR to help with my political education. I have On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century by Timothy Snyder. I have Erasing History, How Fascists Rewrite the Past to Control the Future by Jason F. Stanley. And finally, and this might be a little controversial, the MAGA Diaries, My Surreal Adventures Inside the Right Wing by Tina Nguyen. I never know how to say that last name. Those are my autumnal reads that I have set up for myself for the end of the year, post-election, pre-inauguration, because I'm angry. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yikes! Are the subscribers just falling off in droves? Anyways, moving on. Prompt number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Always. Always. That's a difficult prompt for me because I have access to new releases before they even come out. I feel very, very lucky about that. I feel very fortunate to have access to advanced readers' copies. And I don't know if this video is going to post before or after the video that I made of a stack of like 13 ARCs that I have in my possession of books that are coming out in the next 6 months. What was the prompt again? I really don't. Yeah, so no, again, no. I don't have to wait for new releases. And even if there were, that's not how my mind works with books. Even if it's an author I'm really waiting for, like I would say the authors that I wait for would be Stephen King, Leanne Moriarty, maybe Jane Harper, maybe Jodi Picoult. But with that being said, I have no problems waiting for those books to come out. I don't feel like I'm like anxious for them to come out and looking at my watch, oh my gosh, is it release date yet or anything. There's too many books out there that I can entertain myself and take up my time until the new books that I'm excited about come out. So that's how that works for me. I am terrible at this tag business. That's not the answers that you're hoping for. You want names, you want titles, right? No, because I don't have to wait for new releases. Sorry. Let's move on to the next prompt. This is terrible. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Okay, I can answer this. These 2 are on my nightstand, so I know I want to read them soon. And then this one, I mean, I might be retelling a story if I've already posted a video where I talk about this book, but this one, let's just talk about them in order. The 3 books that I know I want to read before the end of the year. First one is We Are the Weather by Jonathan Safran Foer. Saving the Planet Begins at Breakfast. So we all know Jonathan Safran Foer. He's a novel writer, but this is nonfiction about the ways that we can make a difference with the climate struggles that we are amidst. Real quick, some people reject the fact, overwhelmingly supported by scientists, that our planet is warming because of human activity. But do those of us who accept the reality of human-caused climate change truly believe it? If we did, surely we would be roused to act on what we know. Will future generations distinguish between those who didn't believe in the science of global warming and those who said they accepted the science but failed to change their lives in response? I really want to read this for a long time, and I just have a hard time motivating myself to read nonfiction, but I feel this is going to be extremely important for me personally, because I do want to make those changes. And of course, the new year is a prime time to make certain changes in your life, lifestyle changes. So I definitely want to read this before the end of the year so that I can be better equipped to make those changes, and also to have those intellectual debates that usually surround this topic. The other book I want to read before the end of the year is a book called Stinger by Robert McCammon. Robert McCammon has written one of my all-time favorite books called Boy's Life. Also, another all-time favorite, Swan Song. I absolutely love the way he writes. I had no idea about this book. However, I saw a trailer for a new show coming on Peacock called Teacup. Look it up. It looks really, really interesting, and I was fascinated to find out that it's based on this book. So I immediately ordered it at work. I know I've already talked about it, but let's talk about it again. The West Texas desert towns of Inferno and Bordertown have been slowly dying. Snake River isn't the only thing that divides them. Racism and gang wars have turned the sun-scorched flatlands into a powder keg. If anything can unite them now, it's the UFO that comes crashing through the clouds. It brings with it a young alien named Dauphine, a fugitive who has taken human form. She knows the terror that awaits this planet because it's looking for her. Stinger is an alien bounty hunter with an infinite capacity for death and a devious plan to find Dauphine. Entombing the region in an inescapable dome, Stinger unleashes a violent fury unknown to humankind. Now, the few remaining survivors must come together to protect Dauphine, themselves, and the world beyond. Doesn't that sound amazing? Super excited about that, and I want to finish that before the end of the year because I want to watch the show. And I always read before I watch. Finally, so working for a bookstore, bookstores in general get ARCs, advanced readers copies, sent to them by the truckloads by publishers, all publishers. You know, obviously they're like, please sell this book, sell this book, sell this book that I am publishing. So we have shelves and shelves of advanced readers copies, but also publishers get to know booksellers and their tastes in books, and they will personally choose a book and send it to specific people. Obviously, they send them to independent bookstore owners. And the more you review books on a website called Edelweiss, you pop up on their radar and they get to know your reading taste. And so anyways, I got my first ARC sent to me personally by our Penguin Random House rep. And I'm super excited about it. And it's all I can think about. It's what I want to read next, even though I have a couple of books that I have to read before. I definitely want to read this before the end of the year because, well, just because, obviously. This is called The Savage Noble Death of Babs Dionne. This is a kind of mystery thriller. Babs Dionne, proud Franco-American doting grandmother and vicious crime matriarch, rules her small town of Waterville, Maine, with an iron fist. She controls the flow of drugs into Little Canada with the help of her loyal lieutenants, girlfriends since they were teenagers, and her eldest daughter, Lori, a Marine vet struggling with addiction. When a drug kingpin discovers that his numbers are down in the upper Northeast, he sends a malevolent force known only as the Man to investigate. At the same time, Bab's youngest daughter, Sis, has gone missing, which doesn't seem at all like a coincidence. In 24 hours, Sis will be found dead, and the whole town will seek shelter from Bab's wrath. So I definitely want to get to this before the end of the year because it's the courteous thing and polite thing to do when someone handpicks a book and then sends it to you, thinking that you will love it. So those are the three. So yeah, that's a decent answer for these prompts, right? Let's move on to the next one. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Ooh, that's a tough one because I've already picked like 8 of my favorites this year. And the one that, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, the one that I have as like in my top 2, I read all the way back in the first quarter of the year. And it's been hard to beat. I don't know. I don't think so. That would be difficult. And I'm looking at books that I plan on reading in the near future. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I feature these books in another video, but I will just share with you that if I get to any of these before the end of the year, they have potential to be favorites. So the first one I would say is Evening Shades by Lee Martin. I'm not going to read the synopsis, but this one's about grief and family. Takes place in the 70s. You know, historical fiction with heart. Just is up my street and really could be a favorite. Next one is Confessions by Catherine Airy. This is multiple timeline. We got 2001, 1974, and 2018. We have probably multiple perspectives. Oh, it follows 3 generations of women from New York to rural Ireland and back again. Story of family and fate, survival and revelation, examining the irresistible gravity of the past. It seems like it would be a banger. And then finally, Wally Lamb is coming out with a new one. It doesn't come out till May. Probably won't get to it this year, but if I do, it has potential to be a favorite. And this is a story about a man who has had his shit together, has a loving family, and then through a chain of events, he loses everything, goes to prison, and then ends up finding hope and light in his time behind bars. It sounds really, really good. So I would say if I get to any of these 3 books before the end of the year, they do have potential to be a favorite of the year. It's a big if, huge if. Final prompt is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Not specifically. I have books that I have to read kind of on a monthly basis because I help run one of the shop's book clubs that meets every month. There is a mystery book that I have to read every month. I have to read an arc every month as part of my job. And I say have to, but I love it. So that's 2 books. It's already planned out for every month for the year. Other than that, I don't really have any specific plans. I would like to continue to record and make videos for y'all. Wow, this is really yet another boring answer to this question, but yeah, no, I don't have specific plans. I have goals, I guess. You know, I want to read more nonfiction. I want to read more about politics and this country's history because it was my worst subject in high school. I feel like it's bitten me on the ass. I want to read more about the state of the planet and climate change and what I can do as an individual more than what I already do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the tag. Maybe I should have done my Christmas tag instead. Would you guys be interested if I did my Christmas tag again? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you guys want to answer any of these questions, please feel free. I love that. I love watching tags. Most of the time, the questions bring up, you know, books that you don't normally hear about because it's not just what people are reading right now. So I love watching tags. I hope you enjoyed this one. I wish I could have had more inspiring and fascinating answers. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you all are doing very well. Please feel free to say hi down in the doodly-doo. I will see you all next time. Bye.